Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. So day 10 is going to take us to around the 24th of June. We'll be able to extend out beyond that. We extend GFS and ECM ensembles, but it runs around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, which will of course take us into early July. I shall get on that for you very shortly. Just say that the first video release date was our nice little 7 AM upload forecast, so check that out if you'd like to do that. Might update Stormwatch for you this evening. There's a chance it could get some pretty big thunderstorms coming up later on in the week. So if I've got time this evening, around 7ish, I think we might have a little look at Stormwatch. Please like, share, subscribe on all of the videos. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. I hope you're having a lovely Monday. And let's get on with the video. So I'm going to start off Central England temperature. So the CT is currently standing at 16.6. Very warm start to June, to say the least. First half of June, that is nearly 3 degrees above average. That is provisional to yesterday, to the 13th of June. That's probably going to carry on rising through this week. I suppose it'll stabilise the next day or so, because I think we're going to see the temperature easing back slightly later today, tonight and tomorrow. But they'll probably pick up again from around middle of the week onwards, as it is going to get quite hot, but also potentially rather thundery. So I reckon this is going to get close to 17 degrees again in the coming days, which of course is very, very warm for June. So yes, we're having a very warm first half of June, to say the least. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. Looking at London today, the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. So obviously we're starting off very warm at the moment. We've got a weak cold front coming down across the country. It will lower the temperature, both upper and surface temperature, sort of later today, tonight, and into tomorrow. So a little bit fresher, a little bit of a fresher feel for a while. But then as we go towards the middle of the week, the upper air temperature is lifting up again. So it's probably going to turn quite hot around Wednesday. We could see the temperature going back close to 30 degrees. Before there's another drop taking place towards the end of the week and into the weekend. Still a little bit above average, though, you'll notice. So not going particularly cool, but certainly a bit of a drop in the temperature taking place at the end of the week and into the weekend. Then after that, we have a lot of scatter. Generally, it looks like we're staying quite close to the long-term average, but that is masking like a split, I think, within the GFS ensembles. We've got these ensemble members just here, but are going quite a bit cooler, but they're offset quite a lot by these ensemble members up here that are keeping things pretty warm. In fact, turning things hotter again through the last week of June. So the final week of June is quite uncertain. You look at that ensemble graph, and you can see that there is quite a lot of uncertainty there from relatively early on. Anything from around this period here, which is like 18th, 19th, 20th of June, you can see there is a lot of uncertainty with these ensemble members. They're going quite cool. These ones looking like they're reloading the heat. So I'm not sure anything beyond like the thundery weather that's coming up on Thursday and maybe into Friday. I'm not sure anything beyond that is to be trusted at the moment. I think there is an unusual amount of uncertainty within the model output, which is something that we've seen a lot through this June. Precipitation-wise, going to be a lot of dry weather over the next 2 or 3 days, but as we get through to around Thursday, Friday, we see big precipitation spikes appearing. So that's associated with thunderstorms, probably thundery rain and thundery storms around Thursday and Friday. In fact, we could be going into quite a wet period at the end of the week and into the weekend from around, say, the 18th of June to 22nd of June. We have got some pretty big precipitation spikes there, so there is a risk of some heavy rain and some thunderstorms coming up. Beyond that, a little bit mixed, probably a bit dry as we go into the last week of June. Not as thundery, but there are still some precipitation spikes there. Temperature anomalies from the 14th to 22nd of June, very close to average, maybe slightly below, particularly for more northern areas. A little bit of a surprise, I think, given that ensemble graph. And the precipitation anomaly shows that it's drier than average to the north and west, so Scotland, Ireland, northern England, drier than average, but the rest of England, particularly southern and eastern parts of England, looking significantly wetter than average. And again, that is down to thunderstorms coming up later on this week. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows that we're trying to bring in something a little bit cooler from the north and the northwest today. So there's a cold front moving south. It's a very weak cold, just producing nothing more really than a band of cloud, but it does mark the boundary between cooler air coming in from the North Atlantic and these warm, hot temperatures actually coming up from off the continent. That cold front will carry on southwards through the rest of today and tonight, lowering the temperature temporarily, but then, as we've already explained, we get through to around Wednesday and we'll see those hotter temperatures beginning to return from the south, but also with a growing threat risk of thunderstorms. Right, this is how the UK Met is looking at the weather outlook. We're going to extend out to 168 hours with the UK Met. So here we go. We're starting off on Thursday with a thundery area of low pressure moving up from France in towards southern parts of England. That thundery low will be sitting across central and eastern parts of England through the course of Thursday itself, bringing a further threat of thunderstorms. Then that thundery low gets out of the way as we move towards Friday, or begins to move away as we get to Friday, with a ridge of high pressure starting to build in from the northwest. It turns cooler and fresher with that ridge of high pressure, but with quite a lot of dry weather, especially for northern and western areas. Through Friday and into Saturday, we've got another thundery area of low pressure moving up from France again, so that could bring like a lift up in the temperature probably later Friday and into Saturday, becoming warmer again in the south after, feeling fresher for a little while. But also again, threat of thunderstorms coming up from France there late Friday and into Saturday of that area of low pressure. Always drier and quieter further northwards. Then we go on into Sunday and we get rid of that thundery low. We try and get a ridge building from the southwest, but at the same time we've got low pressure out to our northwest, and we finish up at 168 hours, which gets us to midnight on Monday, beginning to build the high pressure back in from the Atlantic again, though with a fresher type feel. So very up and down with the temperatures at the end of the week and into the weekend. One day quite a bit cooler, another day hotter, thundering, and then going cooler again. Overlooking drier and cooler by the time we get through to 168 hours, which is going to be midnight on Monday. Right, that's UK Met. Should I put the webcam on for the rest of it? Hello, I'm back. Right, so, okay, let's go to the GFS midnight run at Wetter Central then. So here we go again. This is how the GFS looks for midnight on Thursday. Low pressure coming up from France, bringing a risk of thunderstorms into towards southern and southeastern areas. That thundery low moves over towards the Low Countries as we get through to midnight on Friday. Obviously, it's taken storms to the south and the east initially, and now we're pulling in like a cooler wind from the northwest with high pressure ridging in from the Atlantic. Midnight on Saturday, high pressure ridging through the northern half of the country, beginning to start seeing low pressure starting to push up from the south again, though. So as we go from Saturday into Sunday, there's another risk of more storms coming up from the south from France with that area of low pressure, and probably an increase in the humidity as well at that point. This is how things look in a week's time. So this is midnight on Monday next week, 21st of June. So everything is becoming rather slack. And then as we get up towards day 10, we begin to build high pressure in from the west. So obviously that turns us drier, probably with a cooler, fresher air mass, but still pretty warm, I would have thought, under that area of high pressure ridging in from off the Atlantic. So I imagine that's going to be delivering pretty warm, dry, but also relatively fresh type conditions. Quite pleasant. And then beyond day 10, we start to take that high pressure further northward. So signs that the high pressure tried to become like a northern blocking feature and go back towards Greenland and Iceland with lower pressure down to our south and southwest. You probably start to pull the winds up from the south initially, so warming things up again through the last week of June, but also again probably turning rather volatile, probably turning rather thundery. As we get to the very end of the GFS run, another change in that we set up Greenland blocking, so we're back to northern blocking, something we had so often through the spring. it's back there by the time we get through to Monday, 28th of June. And so we're pushing a trough of low pressure into Scandinavia, and now changing the wind direction into a northerly, becoming much cooler, therefore, as we get to the very closing days, very end of June. Much cooler with winds in from the north to the northeast via sort of high latitude blocking, and a trough of low pressure over Scandinavia. So what a strange GFS run that was. Virtually everything, and the kitchen sink too, is thrown in. And we finish up with like a cool northerly flow. As far as we get to is to Wednesday the 30th of June. Right, that's that one done. Let's have a look at the 6th Z, Ben, so it's the very latest GFS. When you're enjoying this video, please can you smash your like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, so this is how the 6th Z is. I'm going to go back, actually, with this. Right, so this is how 6th Z is looking. On Thursday, got this thundery low moving up from France. Could bring some big thunderstorms through southern and southeastern parts. That thundery low then drifts away as you get through to Friday. Ridge of high pressure begin to build in from off the Atlantic, starting to turn us drier and also cooler and fresh. That high pressure then starts to move to Scandinavia as you get through towards the weekend, possibly allowing warmth to come back up from the south over the weekend, but also again with the chance of a thundery low developing. That's 6 a.m. on Sunday with a thundery low just off the coast of East Anglia. That could bring more storms to southern and eastern parts of the country. Therefore. And then we go through to next week, and again looking rather slack. There is an area of low pressure to our south-southwest that might deliver some heavy rain, maybe thunderstorms. High pressure building out to the north, to the northwest, keeping northern and western areas mainly drier. As we get towards day 10, this area of high pressure again, similar to what midnight rule was showing, takes over. We go back into drier and potentially quite warm weather with that. We're bringing the wind in from the east off the continent. Probably still pretty hot from like the earlier hot weather on the continent. So I reckon that's going back to drier and hotter conditions potentially by day 10. What happens to get into the extended range? Well, again, we've got this high pressure sitting over and just to the north of the country. Winds are coming in from like an easterly direction. It's mainly dry and probably very warm. A few scattered thunderstorms maybe for the south and for the southeast. And then right in very extended range, another sort of thundery low develops over England and Wales as the high pressures begin to go further and further northwards. So the GFS definitely trying to take this high pressure up to Greenland through the last week of June and set up like a northern blocking type thing with the high pressure. That's how we look to get to the very end of the GFS 6Z. So we've got northern blocking back in over Greenland. It's back again. Low pressure is out to our west, looking like it's about to stage a bit of an attack from the Atlantic. So the long-term trends today for the very end of June, possibly taking the high pressure to Greenland, which would start to deliver cooler weather to us and probably more unsettled weather too. But it's a long way off. It's like 2 weeks away. Before then, there is a lot of warm weather going on, and also, you know, chance of thunderstorms at times as well. This is how the GM is looking. So again, on Thursday, we're bringing up this thundery low from the south. That trough gets out of the way into Friday as we bring the ridge in from the west and cool things down. Only temporarily though. Into Saturday, we start to bring the air back up from the continent again. But as we do so, we probably get more in the way of heavy showers and thunderstorms developing over the weekend. Into next week, we get this ridge extending in from the west up towards day 10, turning mainly dry. And you would have thought with this ridge of high pressure, pretty warm as well. And then with the ECM, look like that. Again, same idea for Thursday. We've got this thundery low coming up from the south, bringing risk of storms into Friday, which is cooling things down as ridge of high pressure pushes in from the Atlantic. Into the weekend, we've got thundery area of low pressure returning there from Saturday into Sunday across England and Wales. In particular, there's more low pressure out in the Atlantic too. And then we finish up as we get towards day 10. Looking a little bit slack and thundery, actually. Not as much high pressure building in around days 8, 9, 10 as the other models are showing. We have got a bit of a Scandinavian high though. But overall, I think the east area is a little bit more unsettled, a little bit thundery still as we get to day 10. This is the precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run from tometeo.com. Loads of dry weather coming up over the next day or two, of course. Wet weather by the middle of the week into the northwest of Scotland and also into Northern Ireland as well. And then we move on into the end of the week, and up come those storms from the south. The first push is coming northwards as we get through towards the end of the week, Thursday. So big showers and thunderstorms breaking out widely across England and Wales. It goes a little bit drier as we get through to Friday, a little bit cooler and fresher too, but then more storms into the southeast there as we're heading from Friday and into the weekend, and yet more storms pushing northwards over the weekend itself. Again, particularly focused on England and Wales. This is always dry, not completely dry, but always drier for Scotland, for Northern Ireland, possibly for Wales and southwestern England as well. Through to next week, rather unsettled with further showers, if not longer spells of rain. Could be thunder mixed in. Again, always a focus for these showers and storms and longer spells of rain is on the south as well. So this is a kind of pattern that's bringing the wettest weather to the south and the driest weather to the north and northwest, interestingly. Right, so at that point we'll turn webcam off and we'll have a look at the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which will get us to the 24th of June. So, we have 26 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure over Scandinavia and out in the Atlantic and to our south. And then quite what's going on here, a little bit to decipher, but probably some lower pressure through there. 14, including the operational run, have high pressure over Scandinavia with a trough, some sort of trough anyway, to our west and southwest. Probably quite warm with that, but could be showery. And then we have 11 going for like the GFS and GM solution, which is to build the ridge in from the west and take it to the northeast. So that scenario, the 11 we have there, is like the driest option out of the three. These two will both be quite showery, but all options look reasonably warm, I think, at day 10. In 2 weeks' time, this is the option that we've got, which will get us to the 29th of June. We have 23 members of the ECM ensembles again, with this ridge to our east, to our south, and to our west. There's probably a trough through there, though, so a little bit more unsettled with that one. 14 have high pressure again to the south, low pressure to the north and northwest. That's going to be probably the coolest option and probably the most showery, particularly for the north. And then we have another 14 just here with a large ridge from the Atlantic into the UK and West Europe. That's the warmest and driest of the options, and 14 are doing that. Right, so what's happening there? Why isn't that working? So I don't know what's going on there. Let's try if it's in do that. So, there we go. Okay, let's get rid of that. Sorry about that, everybody. Press the wrong key, I think. Right, so finish off with CFSV2. These are 500 millibar heights, broken down into weekly periods. The first week period takes us from 14th to the 20th of June. The coming week we'll have high pressure to our east, low pressure to our northwest and to our south. Very warm, bringing up wind from a southerly direction, but an increasing threat of heavy showers and thunderstorms. Week 2 looks like this. It's the 21st, 27th of June. High pressure a little bit further eastwards today. Low pressure around Iceland. So that's a rather cooler and more unsettled week, actually, for the UK and for Ireland as well. Week 3 will be the 28th of June to the 4th of July, with high pressure then over many parts of the country. So that's going back to drier and potentially warmer weather again. And then a bit of a change for week 4, which is the 5th through to the 11th of June. Signs of retrogression or retrogression of the high pressure as we take it up towards Greenland, stick a trough in over Scandinavia, and turn the wind back into the north. So that will be going much cooler if it comes off. And of course, it is 4 weeks away. Probably still quite dry, though, as the Atlantic is blocked off. Temperature anomalies, CFS for week 1, 14th, 20th of June. A little bit cooler than average away to our northwest. Warmer, hotter than average to the south and southeast. Very warm to hot across many western parts of Europe, you'll notice. Week 2 is a cooler week. This is the 21st, 27th of June. Going average to below average in this week. Week 3 is the 28th of June to the 4th of July. A little bit below average just to our west. A bit warmer than average again, though, across many parts of England and Wales, anyway. And then week 4 is the 5th through to the 11th of July. and we're going cooler than average with those northerly winds. Precipitation-wise for week 1, which is the 14th, 20th of June, largely a little bit on the wetter than average side in the week ahead. Week 2 has near normal precipitation from the 21st, 27th of June. Week 3 is drier. This is a drier, warmer week, 28th of June to the 4th of July, drier and warmer then. And then it's still pretty dry for week 4 as well, 5th through to the 11th of June. That's pretty dry, but with a drop in the temperatures, the wind turns into the north. All very speculative. I don't think anything from around Thursday, Friday is sorted out yet, to be honest. There's so much uncertainty within these models for like the weekend and next week, but I think that has to be the focus for the time being. If you enjoyed the video, please click the special like button. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel. You'll be able to see future weather content. If you do that, tell friends and family, everybody else who subscribe. Thank you so much for doing this for Gavs or WeatherVids. And drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. We've got to put on around over 50 subscribers now to get to 11.3k. So we're closing in on 11,300 subscribers. And of course, the overall goal is to get to 12k as quick as we can. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of the support. Right, so I think I'll be back later on with Storm Watch. We'll have of course, we talked about it in this video, but have a more in-depth look at the chance of storms around Thursday. Hopefully we'll have a few higher res models to go at, and we'll have a bit of a look. But yeah, for this one, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Monday afternoon, and bye for now. See you later on for Storm Watch. Bye for now.